Hello everybody, are we live? I think we are. Everybody on the stream, I am working this out. Let me see if you guys can hear me. I am live today on YouTube and Twitch. Thank you for joining us. My name is John McLaughlin with JAmemories. You can catch all of our latest news on our website right below here, JAmemories.com. Thanks for hanging out with us. Today we are live on Tech Talk. Live today. Thank you for putting up with me all weekend. If you guys have been catching my live streams, catching up on the thing, you say we have an echo. Why would we have an echo? I don't know why we would have an echo. Let me see. You shouldn't have an echo. How bad is the echo? Jeff is saying we have an echo on the stream. Make sure everything is turned off. And make sure my audio settings are right. Turn that off just for fun. Turn that off. Turn that off. I have no idea what that is. Turn that off. There we go. Did that help anything? No, I don't have a speaker. You think I would have a speaker turned on, Jeff? Actually, you never know. Let me know if that helped anything. I turned off a bunch of stuff in the live feed. Let me go to Atem and see if I have any features turned on there. Unfortunately, I don't have a way of listening right now to my live stream. So, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn that off. Now all we have on is the microphone. The Jolly Streaming. I have no idea what that meant. Hey Rick, welcome to the stream. Hey Rick, can you tell me if you hear a echo in the stream? I'm trying to figure that out, and right now I have no idea. All good now. That was it. Okay, so hey, let me do this. I'm gonna do this and see if I can turn this up and tell me. Yeah, that still does it. Somehow I'm backfeeding into the joys of live stream. So I need to figure out how to get music in the background. This is gonna be pretty dull if I can't get music in the background. All right, you know what? I'm gonna have you guys look at. I'm gonna go play around with some settings. All right, can you guys all hear me now? Rick says he doesn't, but if I bring up this, it probably will. Let me listen to my speakers and see if for some reason I'm. Can you guys hear a echo? Actually, I do hear something's turned on. Oh, I know what it is. I know what it is. How's that? Now can you hear the music and my voice? Tell me, yep, I got, so let me know if you hear a ding in the background, that's my other other engineer from way far down the road who helps me out sometimes in my live streams. And even the most professional audio guy, video guy, lighting guy, we make mistakes once in a while. And I didn't, so what's happening is Al gets into this in just a few minutes, but the live stream is live. We hear you. I've got a friend, Pedro807. Hey, what's up? Welcome to the stream on Twitch. Welcome to No Music. Oh, I turned it off on the Atem. Hold on, guys. Yeah, I got you. I got you covered. I got you covered. There you go. There, you should have some music now. Something to fill in the gaps when I take a breath. Alright, let's see if we can get this right. Oh, walk. Hey, this is the first live stream, real live stream of 2025. We did a bunch of live streams over the weekend. Those were really test live streams, and you're sitting there going, isn't this a test? Because you're really having some fun stuff here. Let me see. Music is too loud. Alright, let me lower that just a little bit and see if that's better. Alright, we are gonna get this going. Alright, we got music. And if you're watching on YouTube, thanks for joining us today. We are actually live on YouTube and Twitch, simulcasting, and I'll explain my whole layout in just a minute. But I want to tell everybody who I am and what we are doing here. My name is John McLaughlin, and hold on. Alright. I'm actually going to turn my phone on ding because that's going to distract me if I get another text message. I had a fun conversation the other day with my friend Jeff, and he was where's the party lights now? Well, you know, I haven't gotten that far yet. So we are literally having a blast. Let's get into it. Just so everybody's aware, I'm gonna shoot this up and see if we can take this on the scene without any adverse effects on the stream. Hopefully this is. You can see right below me my OBS setup. And then also you see the live chat. So if you leave a comment in the chat on either YouTube or Twitch, I will be able to see it. So Pedro, thank you for joining us on the Twitch feed. We are just hanging out tonight. I have no idea how long we're going to be live. We're going to be live having a good old time, just talking about technology, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself and also the layout of what we're doing. So if you haven't done so already, make sure on YouTube you hit that subscribe button. Also, if you haven't done so on Twitch, go ahead and follow us on Twitch. It means a lot. Thank you for doing so. Also, don't forget you can like the streams. You can join us for future events, and make sure you turn on notifications because we have no idea when we'll be going live. If you followed us last year, you know last year we went live all the time, but this year this is our official first live stream of the year, and I'm excited to say it. As you can see in the background, we have Hadley Design. That's going to be there for a little while. We're going to talk about that in another stream, but you want to make sure you get in on that as well. So today It's been a long weekend. I've been working on this all weekend, and even as you see, there are things that I miss, things that I don't anticipate, and it is what it is. But we are live today. We got all the bugs worked out, and unfortunately, I didn't think to do a live test beforehand to check out the live feeds. I turned off YouTube, I turned off Twitch audio, but I forgot to turn off OBS. So I was actually hearing back through OBS and all of that fun stuff. But with that being said, we are here. I'm excited to go about the day. Now, I am going to talk about real quick the layout of the live stream. So, if you follow me for any length of time, you know I am a big Blackmagic component person. I love Blackmagic. I love their stuff, and the and I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to transition. I'm actually going to do this. I'm going to talk to you guys on my Atem. You're looking at me through our PTZ camera, the PTZ optics camera. So let me know which camera you like best. I'll switch back and forth. So this one is my PTZ optics web camera compared to this one, which is my PTZ optics Move SE. So this one's actually a PTZ camera. It's an actual PTZ, even though it's made by PTZ Optics, which we will talk about in times future. So one thing that you all know about me is I love Blackmagic. Blackmagic makes cameras, switchers, audio interfaces, and they have a wide range of products. Last year, I joined Blackmagic as a distributor, so I am able to get great deals on Blackmagic equipment and then turn around and sell it back to you guys. So, so that's where I love Blackmagic. But one thing that I was wanting to do was have a little bit more flexibility, bring in more stuff, and at the same time, change it up so that I can literally get more into a multi-stream setup without having to worry about multiple devices, because most Blackmagic encoders only encode to one platform, whether that be YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, an RMPT stream. You can do a lot from there, but you can only do one at a time. Well, OBS, and I know I've talked about OBS in the past, OBS offers a lot more flexibility. Now, not being one to use OBS a lot, I was a little intimidated, so that's why I started out going live over the weekend just a few times. And if you watch any of my previous broadcasts on YouTube, yeah, we were live, we had some fun. I did notice that there was some color shifts on the output of OBS to my Atem switcher, which I wasn't too pleased about. So I started looking at the options of going live both from Twitch and YouTube from OBS. I'm happy to say, if you watched yesterday afternoon, you know I was actually testing that out. I went live, thought about it, and tried to figure out how to do it. Right after my live stream at 3, I looked it up, got the plugin for OBS, got it installed, and I was live back another 10-15 minutes later. It wasn't that complicated. OBS makes things so easy. So with that being said, I'm like, okay, I have so many options here. And as a streamer, as a content creator, my job is to provide tools and instructions to my clients so that they can literally make the best choices in the thing. I'm going to move this camera down a little bit. It seems to me like I got a mile of headroom, and I don't want to sit up. Maybe I need to be less lazy and sit up a little bit. No, of course it's too much. So, as a distributor, I have opportunities to provide support, equipment, but also being able to understand that equipment, be able to implement that equipment into other streams. That's where JAmemories stands out. There are a lot of integrators out there who sell product and then also install it. We are one of those installers, integrators, and sellers down the road. So if there's anything that you see, and we have a whole bunch of brands. I'll bring the brands up here. All of these brands, I don't have an exclusive list of every item that's on all of these, but I've got a wide range of products on all of these brands that are scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. So if there's something that you like, something that you're interested in, then reach out, get that, reach out and say, hey, I want to see something from Bosch Conferencing or Bosch PA. So we have brands that specifically go for those the conference room setups. You know, conference rooms after the pandemic, conference rooms and Zoom setups have become a wide range of necessity. And I'll be honest with you, I just reached out to one of my distributors. They actually added a bunch of brands that are not on this list. I need to actually update that list because of some brands being added on a monthly basis to provide more options. And, you know, Kelvin, KiloView, Kramer, Lenovo, LG, LiveView. I love the fact that I have got LiveView under my umbrella because these products I use on a regular basis. I use their products. I know their products. I've been in broadcast for 20 plus years. Jeff just dropped the link in the chat on YouTube for JAmemories.com/brands. And those are the locations where you can look at this entire list. Shure is another great one. You know, everybody in the podcast world loves the SMB microphone. Now, there's a lot to understand about the SMB microphone from Shure. And if you're not careful, you won't understand that and you won't get a true understanding of those products. And I want to make sure that when you buy something or when you reach out and you ask a question about those, that you get them. Now, I have a vision and a dream to one day be able to support the fact that and have an actual store where not only can you buy products, some of these brands, and actually walk in the store and pick up a Blackmagic Constellation or a Blackmagic Hyperdeck, or maybe even a Calvin Light, or maybe you want to pick up a Rodecaster. You know, I want to be able to do that, but I also want to have demos of these equipment where you can walk in and go, hey, I want to see the Rodecaster Pro in action. I want to be able to see it. I want to touch it. I want to see what it sounds like. I want to be able to have a spot where you can hook up a Hyperdeck with an Atem Mini and have it controlled by a video hub and be able to control all that. You know, I control my whole live streams from these little boxes right here. This is an Elgato Stream Deck. These things are powerful. Now this is the Elgato Stream Deck Standard, and they make an Elgato Stream Deck XL. They have the Studio version, which is a rack mount version, and they have the Plus, which has the little dials on it. I'd love to be able to show those and have those in a store somewhere. Obviously, we start by doing these live streams and talking about them. I just did a video the other day. It was, let me think. It was about a week ago, I think. Yeah, a week ago, the Hollyland reached out to me, and as a distributor for Hollyland, I got an email from their developer. It was a Sunday evening, and I got a quick email saying, hey, sorry for the short notice, but our Hollyland Lark M2S are going to go on sale the next week, starting Monday. Well, actually, I think it was Saturday they emailed me. I had a day and a half to get ready to do a promo video and get it up online so that I could do it. Now, luckily, I was able to get my hands on one, test it out, and actually do a video on it. It was a couple of days later, but that's the kind of thing I want to be able to do. I want to be able to do that. So you're going to see a lot of products on here. We're going to talk about a lot of things this year. We're also going to be doing Amazon store shopping, because believe it or not, a lot of the products that I sell, you can buy straight off Amazon. Now, you're going to pay retail price. Amazon, if you're Prime, does offer free shipping on most of the items. And unfortunately for me, they do have a lot more inventory than I do. So availability will be a lot better through Amazon. Now, we are an Amazon affiliate, we're an Amazon associate, and because of that, we can offer affiliate links to all the products that we talk about, and through that, you guys can support the channel down the road. But right now, I'm looking at 3 brands that I would love to get under my umbrella. But unfortunately, those require an inventory. So until I get the funds to build an actual store, I won't be able to offer them. I will support them. I will continue talking about them, and I will continue to upload their content. One of the big brands that I love and I use in my studio, I've got several of their products. In fact, I've got 3 of their lights I'm looking at right now. That is Neewer. Neewer.com is a store. You can find their products on their own website, Neewer.com, or on Amazon. And they make all kinds of photography, videography equipment, whether it's lights, audio equipment, stands, lighting accessories, clips, sliders for cameras, camera ped machines. They have a wide range of products, and one of that line I would love to carry. However, they do require you to carry an inventory of products to sell in a store. So until that comes, I will continually, you will see newer products pop up all the time in our live streams, because I use them. I love their products. I've been using them well before I even started JAmemories. And I use them in my live productions here, use them at the live studio where I work full time, and they're just a great product. So if you've heard of Neewer, let me know. And if there's any products that you like, let me know, and I'll see what kind of deals we can get. So another brand that I love, and I've already mentioned them, is Rode. Rode makes the Rodecaster Pro. They have the Rodecaster Pro 2, and now they have the Rodecaster Video. Those are, yes, they're direct competitors with the Blackmagic equipment. The Rodecaster Pro 2 is one of the biggest audio podcast setups that's out there. There are a few others, but Rode, one, they make high quality equipment, reliable equipment, and it's very, very good in what they do. The other function of Rode is they make great microphones. The podcast mic, the Rode Podcast. So if you can't afford a Shure SMB microphone, then the Rode Podcast mic is your next best microphone to get for podcasts. It's got a nice warm body to the sound of that microphone. Another, they also make wireless microphones. We are not using one of their microphones today, but one of the things about their microphones, their wireless microphones, is it's easy to use and it's compatible with all their devices. So if you have an ecosystem that you like, sticking with a standard brand, a certain type of equipment, that's one reason why I use Blackmagic all the time, because Blackmagic is one of those that literally makes products stand out. So, you know, and that's what I love about what I do. I love being able to come in here in my studio, change up my live streams, and I do have a lot of experience in live productions. I've been doing live for the ministry that I work at, Richard Roberts Ministries. We've been doing live daily shows Monday through Friday since last July, and it's you know, I mean, you think this studio is big? I mean, that we've got a 2 ME Constellation 4K. We've got a hyperdeck. We got 8 hyperdecks. 9 hyperdecks in line. We've got a video hub from Blackmagic, 80 by 80. We've got 4 of the G2 broadcast cameras from Blackmagic. So yeah, I mean, I love doing live streams. Now, the nice thing about using OBS, and I will show you the layout again, OBS is one of the, let me show you this, yeah, let's take that one right there. Okay, hopefully this won't feedback in the live stream. The OBS settings, you see over here all my scenes. I can take whatever scene I want, you know, and this is all preview. I've got settings for all kinds of things, and I love how I have scenes for view right back. I'll show you that in a minute. But the nice thing is I have this fun scene there. I needed a way to color correct my cameras, and I'll be honest with you, I thought I had it done, and then I hit a button and it went all the way, and I didn't have time. So I actually have this fun side-by-side view of both cameras. So I actually see side by side, and it's not really meant to go online live, but it's a fun thing. And you know, you see the flexibility of the live feed and what OBS can do, and the nice thing about OBS is it's creating a environment that's flexible. Atems, yes, I love Atems. I'm not gonna shoot them down, especially the 8 input ISO models. That'd be the Extreme ISO, the HD8 ISO. Having the flexibility of, bringing all my inputs in, having everything there, and then recording everything, and then outputting a video feed. I'm not even sure which camera I'm on. I'm on this one. When you think about it, and you have that, don't want to do that. I've got to fix that button. All right, well, I've got a button I got to fix, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. So, the thing about the A10 Mini is when you have an ISO model, you can record all of your inputs. You can then take that file or folder, because it's 8 inputs. You got 8 channels of audio plus the 2 microphone inputs plus the live stream. So 8, 9, 10, 11 audio feeds, plus you get all of your mix down. You get a Blackmagic DaVinci Resolve file, which, if you are smart, it literally has the cuts that you made during your live stream or your recording. Now, I've talked to a lot of broadcasters, a lot of streamers out there who actually don't use the recording or don't actually cut their records. They just take a bunch of different angles. They will record into the Atem, and then they will take that recording and then output it later so that they're able to cut it however they want. Personally, I like cutting live. I like being able to cut things and be able to then, when I'm cutting, I've got a finished product of the video. Now, I need you guys to let me know in the chat, is the audio in sync on both cameras? I'm seeing a slight delay on the PTZ web camera, and I want to make sure that the audio is in sync, or if I'm just seeing something, or maybe all of it's out of sync on my monitor, but everything looks good on your end. So if you guys will let me know in the chat what, if my audio is in sync, I appreciate it. I got a notification on my computer. So I don't want to take away from the fact that Atems have their purpose, and they're very good. They're very versatile. And the other thing about OBS is you have to have a computer big enough and beefy enough to handle 2, 3, or even 4 live streams. So you have to consider, you have to weigh the pros and cons. I didn't think I had a computer. And thank you, Jeff. I see that audio is good. So you have to consider what you have available. I didn't think I had a computer that would handle OBS, but I was going through my bills and noticed that I was paying for a service that provided certain tools for Twitch, and then also integrated into YouTube. So I'm like, you know what? I have these tools available. Let's give it a shot. And that's what brought me to even test the Twitch feeds, then YouTube feeds, then Twitch and YouTube feeds, and now we're here where I'm now live streaming from OBS together, YouTube and Twitch at the same time. Now, I will tell you, if you are going to go live on OBS on multiple streams, there's a few things you need to consider. One, you have to have enough bandwidth to handle multiple streams. We have a lot of bandwidth here in the house, so I know I can live stream. I've actually live streamed to YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch at the same time. So that is something that you can do. I'm not sure I really want to go live on Instagram yet, so we're going to leave it at Twitch and YouTube for the moment. I may grab Facebook and jump on there, but I've got to do that. But in order to go live on OBS multi-stream, you do have to download the multi-stream RMPT plugin. And it is a third-party product. It is supported by OBS. You can find it on their website, obsstudio.com. I think that's the website. But you want to look up multiple RMPT stream plugin and download that to your OBS Studio, and then at that point you'll be able to set up your settings, create your live streams, and go live. Now I will warn you, you have to have one primary stream plugged in directly to OBS in their native settings. So whether your parent one is Twitch or YouTube or Facebook, that's going to be your primary. Then once you have gone live on your primary, then you can start your live streams on your secondary streams, or even third or fourth. I have been told, I have not actually tested this portion yet, but I have been told, and I was reading, that you can turn off your primary stream and stay live on your secondary streams if you so desire. There are little check marks to synchronize the live streams so that all streams go live at the same time. I actually tried that today and it worked, so I'm happy to say that that is something that does work. I was watching a YouTuber from last year who said that did not work for them. So I'm actually going to change this because I want to go to a different screen. And I want to do this. I'm playing with my buttons. I'm going to show you guys something here. So I'm going to go here. So what you're seeing right now is a split screen of me on my Atem, on my PTZ Optics web camera, and my Atem mini feed. So if I want to, I could literally change my Atem to be OBS. That's my output of OBS. And I'm surprised it's not looping back 5,000 times. And it may be, I don't know. But luckily we don't have any digital audio. So, of course, this is my two kids, JD, and believe it or not, this is awesome. JD, the boy in this picture right here, yeah, that's my son. He's graduating this year. So, of course, my PTZ camera side by side, and and those, that's the fun thing. So, how am I controlling my streams? I actually have, like I said, I actually have my I'm controlling my show through my Stream Deck. And I'm actually going to show you guys my screen. I want to bring up and I talked about this yesterday. I want to bring up. There we go. All right. So you're looking at my my computer screen here, and this is the Elgato. So this is actually bitfocus companion, and the thing about the Elgato Stream Deck, the the Stream Deck right here, this Stream Deck, it's made by Elgato. So Elgato makes these products, and they have a native software, the Elgato software, Elgato Stream Deck software. And it's a great tool. It has its functions. It works great on the local machines. And there's a lot that you can do natively through the Elgato Stream Deck software. However, it was quickly discovered that the problem that you run into with the Elgato software is streamers, podcasters, even churches and broadcasters discovered that they can't control as much stuff as they wanted natively through the Elgato software. So that's where bitfocus companion came in. And bitfocus companion discovered a way to control the stream decks through their software. Now, through some settings, you actually can control both Stream Deck using the Stream Deck software, Elgato, and the companion software. But that's a little bit more complicated and does require a lot more setup. So we're not going to do that. We natively use the Stream Decks with bitfocus companion. Just so you know, if I keep pointing over here, that's where the screen is that you see right here. Okay, so if I'm pointing right here, that's what I'm talking about right here. That's what I'm looking at. And if you happen to see a mouse floating around the screen, I don't know if you will, but if you look like I'm supposed to be clicking something, I have two screens here. One is the program monitor, which obviously has a display, and I'm going to try to click on a button, and I'm not going to work. So just to get you guys through the mindset, if something's not working the way I say it is, it may take me a minute to realize, hey, I'm pushing the buttons on the wrong screen. And I might get frustrated too. So, going back to the big screen, you will notice that there are several buttons here on my screen, and these match what you see right here. So when I push a button, let's push the auto button, you will notice that I'm pushing live that button. And my display responds correctly and live at the same time. So, the nice thing about bitfocus companion, and it comes down to the connection. We have a lot of connections, and all of these brands right here are the connection devices and softwares that you can connect bitfocus companion and run natively on the Stream Deck. And a lot of these you would never be able to control through this software. Now, one of the biggest things that I was doing this weekend is, if you notice up here, I'm on version 3.5.4, okay, 3.5.4. That is the latest stable version of bitfocus companion. Now, I was on like 3.3 or 3.2 over the weekend, and one of the most frustrating things is the Atem switcher, which if I bring up here, I'm gonna bring over here, here's the software. okay? This is my switcher, okay? And I have my stream key blocked off, so you guys I won't have to worry about the stream key. But one of the things that Blackmagic did was they gave us an option. Up until version, I don't remember what version we're on. This is version 9.3.1. I think it was version 9.2. They introduced a new feature. So out of I'm running the Atem Mini Extreme software, and which brings me to the point, I'm still using the Atem. I'm still using it to switch inputs and change what I'm able to view. So that makes things a lot easier, and I have more inputs. Because with OBS, let me go here real quick and talk to you guys for a second. The one thing about OBS is OBS requires everything to be connected to a computer. You can use NDI, so if you have a bunch of NDI devices, you can use NDI, which actually I'm going to try with my PTZ at some point. I'm not sure when that's going to be. But you do have a bunch of NDI options on OBS. You can bring OBS and NDI in. But most of the time, because of the fact that you want stuff to be right on and you want it to be stable, you're going to want stuff physically connected to the computer. So you're using a bunch of connector devices, capture devices. Well, I don't have a lot of capture devices. Plus, I don't have a lot of I/O available on my computer to handle a bunch of capture devices. I'm running on a laptop, so that kind of limits me. I could go with a Blackmagic Deck Link Duo. That would give me 4 SDI inputs I could use, but I don't have that. So maybe down the road I would have that, but right now I don't. So with that being said, the Atem Mini has the Atem Mini Extreme that has 2 HDMI outputs. Now most people use one as a multi-view. So they are literally able to set the multi-view. Let me okay. I don't have that scene. Let's go over here. I'm gonna click on the side-by-side scene. And I believe, yes, that's my PTZ camera webcam, and that's the Atem. So I'm going to use this scene over here, take that on the screen, and then I'm going to take here, I'm going to show you the multi-view. So most people use one of the outputs, HDMI outputs, to the screen as the multi-view. It's just what they do, because that way they can see a lineup of all of the inputs, all of the outputs. They can oftentimes see the audio levels in the corner right here. They got the, right there is the, if they do go live from the Atem, and then right next to that is the record, which we're not recording on OBS. No, sorry, we're not recording on the Atem today. But the nice thing about this, you have the first 2 rows right there are your multi-view. And then of course you got program, and the small one next to it is preview. So you have all of those available. So with that being said, now we look at the software. So you had up until the version 9.2, I believe, you had only 2 outputs, and these 2 outputs. Well, with 9.2, they introduced the webcam output. So what that allowed people to do is now we can select what goes out the webcam. Up until that point, it was always the program feed. Now we can take the webcam out and feed program. We can feed clean feed if we need to. But what I'm using it for is the second camera. So when I take my Atem online, it allows me to then have a secondary screen that is, and I have a button on my Stream Deck that allows me to change what I am doing. So if I take my PlayStation, I can take OBS, which then backfeeds. That's bad, don't do that. Or the camera. So I did figure out a way to backfeed video. I don't recommend doing that, and I apologize if that caused any problems on the stream. But that's what I'm able to do. You have options to create, still have one input. So, and one of the things that was frustrating with bitfocus Companion was the fact that I could not control the webcam out on the bitfocus software. So with that being said, I had to go into an update to version 3.5, and I'm happy to say in that version they allowed us to now have a way to control the webcam out. The webcam out allows us to then set up the buttons so that I have a whole page right here that changes the web page, the web camera to primary computer, OBS, stream key, and playback, hyperdeck. No, sorry, this is the H2R Graphics, which we will talk about in just a minute, because I love the fact that we are still able to use H2R Graphics in our live streams, overlays, and PlayStation. PlayStation is what you see on this screen back here. I like having something on this screen. This is where I play my video games. And if you ever watch my streams when I have, I'm playing whatever game I play, Fortnite. Yeah, it's there, so I can do that. Now, like I said, you have all of these devices on here. So hold on 1 second, I will be right back. Perfect opportunity to show you another button that's on my Atem stream. And my Stream Deck is my Be Right Back screen. I don't know if you noticed, you couldn't hear what I was talking about. I actually have my button, and this is one of the features of bitfocus Companion, and we'll get into that in just a second, is you can literally set stacks and stacks of stuff. I have no idea why the chat's not updating, so I have the chat up on a different screen. I'm gonna have to reach out to owned.pro and find out why my chat's not updating. because I see the chat on the YouTube, but I don't see it live on this screen. But anyway, so like I said before, you have so many options, and here's the nice thing: it's an open software, an open source software. So if there is a if there's something that you use on a regular basis and there isn't either an API or a network interface or some way of getting around the controls, you can always reach out to the bitfocus companion software team and go, hey, have you considered this? Have you considered that? One that I love, and we don't have any online right now, but VLC player. VLC is a great tool to be able to play back videos. PTZ optics. I actually can control my PTZ on here, and through my Stream Deck control the positioning on my PTZ. Now I don't have this one particularly. I did this as a demo, but and then of course you have Blackmagic design that I have. So once you have your connections built on and they're turned on, then you come over to your buttons page. We're actually going to go to a fourth page, and then you simply create a new button. Now these three over here, I'm using a standard page, a standard Elgato Stream Deck. So obviously I'm staying within the 15 buttons, but if you have an XL, you can use the larger pages. Yeah, Jeff, I honestly don't know. This is the first time I'm actually doing a live stream with actual chatters that are online. So you can leave a comment. I will see the chat. I just don't know why. I'm actually going to go real quick. Let me do this. I'm not actually going to turn the chat off on that page because it's not updating. I don't know why. It might be because of Unfortunately, the chat, I can't turn the chat off without turning everything else off. So we'll just deal with it and know that I can see the chat some other way. All right, so with that being said, I can turn it off in the actual own.pro, which we will be doing a video on own.pro, so look forward to that down the road. I'm just starting to use it, so I've got to ask a bunch of questions. Anyway, so once you have your empty page and you want to control something, once you have your connections turned on, the bitfocus companion is going to open you up to create a button, and it's simple as that. So your connections, I've got 3 turned on. You have 2 ways of creating buttons. You can do what I just did. I'm going to delete this page and I'll show you again. So you select your page, you hit create button. Okay, you create a button. Simple as that. And you're ready to start programming. The other way to do it is to grab your presets. And this is where our bitfocus companion shines. It shines beyond a doubt. Other YouTubers have the same problem with chat showing on screen sometimes. Nothing new. Yes, and I agree. I've had my own issues over the line, but I'm still gonna reach out to them, and that's, I mean, it's just what it is. We'll figure it out, and that's okay. So, and please note, bitfocus is always quick, and the community is always quick to share information as it comes available. And as it is open source, things do break occasionally. So please be willing to share your comments, share your frustrations. And if you do find a benefit to this, you can always click over here and donate to them directly. Because like I said, this is open source, so they have to do it. But let's talk about creating easy, quick buttons. Well, one of the things I wanted to do was have a way to control what the web camera out was doing. Well, up until this past version, they had the output 1 and output 2, but they didn't have the webcam. So now we have a new webcam button, and all of these are the sources already programmed into the Atem Mini Extreme ISO. So, if I want to create a button for my super source, which I don't even think I have programmed right now, I could bring that in, and when I get there, I can see what it's going to do. This is going to program the aux output to be set to source. I've got it set to webcam 3, and it's going to change it to the super source. But here's the best part. You have this feedback. Now, feedback is a way for you to get instant feedback on the Atem on the Stream Deck, so that you know what's going on in the Stream Deck. So you click on the feedback and it shows you what's there. So it's saying that if the input selected is selected in the aux bus specified, change style of the bank. So it's saying if the Stream Deck, or if the webcam 3 has super source, change the text to black and change the background to yellow. Change the text to black, change the background to yellow. So when I select this and then I test it, it's now telling me, hey, super source is set to the aux 3. Now, I'm not going to take it online because I have absolutely no idea what in the world it is, so I'm not going to take it online. Now, I could do this and then look at my OBS so that I can see what that might be. Yeah, I don't. Well, actually, it's not a bad shot. Let me go into the Atem. I'm going to fix something here, and then I can take it online. Box 1, box 2, box 3. Let's head back to that. And box 4. Let's change that to that. No, that's the background. Yeah, we'll do that. So now, okay, let's go back to that. There you go. So I'm back. So now SuperSource is online. I did make some changes off screen that you couldn't see, but it's something that I feel comfortable showing you guys. So I could now take this on air live, and now I have my secondary computer, which is the background of the two kids, and my primary camera on the Atem Mini. So obviously the flexibility is there that we can do a wide range of stuff. And this is one reason why I like the fact that I still have my Atem plugged into my switcher. Now I will tell you that the Atem Mini is plugged directly into my computer through the USB. That's why I'm using the web camera 3 aux out as when I'm programming, because that is what options are there for me to physically select moving on. Okay? So obviously we are programming and keeping things in mind when we are doing all of our programming. Sometimes the presets don't always work. Here's another example. H2R Graphics. And I know we haven't really talked about H2R Graphics a lot. H2R Graphics is what provides the graphics, which unfortunately if I do that there, it will override my face. So if I take this one here, then bring in H2R Graphics, this is H2R Graphics, my lower thirds. I am actually pushing H2R Graphics out through a web browser. I've got the IP address of the computer, the port number, the project file name, and I'm pushing the output to OBS. And if you like the graphics, again, these graphics right here, they're all H2R Graphics. I even have this, which is from last live stream, comment from Jeff on the last live stream. If I had my data source set up in H2R Graphics, I would actually be able to pull the chat from YouTube and bring it on screen just like I'm doing right now. I haven't done that portion, so I can't bring on the comments today, but that's okay. I'll work on that and get that going so that I can bring those on any given time. But all of that is done through H2R Graphics. Now there are a few issues I'm working out because this is the first week I've had H2R Graphics doing what it's doing through a browser rather than through that. Now all of these graphics, those are coming from own.pro. If I go with the main display, the side graphics right there, I'm having a hard time doing this. Yeah, all those right there, and the chat window, all through own.pro. Also, the background of this awesome thing, the borders around the things, that's all own.pro. So one thing about podcasters and one thing about live streaming is we have to use tools that are able to be used in a successful way, okay? And one of the biggest caveats to anything, one of the biggest challenges of any function, okay, is the fact that you want to get your hands on as many tools and as many functions as you possibly can. Because when you have tools that are available. When you have people who, like John Barker with H2R Graphics, who build products and tools for the industry, there is no reason why you shouldn't be using those. And it's important to understand these people who spend hours, months, years building these apps oftentimes are using their own funds to do this. And that's one of the things. And when you find somebody that you truly find a product that you like Own.pro, check them out. Because if you find value in what they are doing, it's worth paying the money for. Because when you get invested in their products, when you get invested in what they're doing and how they're doing it, and the expertise that it takes to build these apps. If I had to build all the graphics that I use around my live streams, if I had to do that natively, I would have to spend more time than it's worth because I wouldn't have any family time. You know, when I do a live stream, my family is in a different part of the house dealing with all the things that are dealing with family life. That's just the way it is. When we are dealing with, when I'm down here testing, even if I'm not live, they're up there doing their thing. Now, obviously, when I'm testing and I'm not live, they can interrupt me. But my son needed something just a little while ago, and I had to hit my be right back button. Now, luckily, I had already anticipated that move, so when I hit the be right back button, it also mutes my microphone. So I can carry on a conversation with him without worrying, hey, I might be interrupting the live stream with whatever I'm having to deal with. And that brings me to the next point of how do you take what you learn, take what you've done, and then put it out for the rest of the world. Because people are live streaming all the time. People want tools and products that make their live stream easier. And that's what we're doing here. We're creating tools, using tools that people have already made, putting them into our environment. And that's one reason why I love Atem minis. I love OBS now. And believe me, if you watch some of my previous videos, I'll be first to tell you I don't want OBS. But after spending time this weekend and trusting myself that I could do this and getting the products and getting the tools I need, I'm actually enjoying the experience of knowing that I'm pushing out content on both YouTube and Twitch. And that's where it comes down to, being able to know that my live streams are actually going to go somewhere. And even if I don't get the thousands of viewers, and I don't get the subscriptions, and I don't get the members that other video people do. I was actually sitting there talking with my boss today, and we were talking, I was explaining my weekend and what I was doing over the weekend with, my live streams. And I was explaining some of the ins and outs, and he understands a lot of what goes into broadcast. He's been working in TV for years, longer than I have. I think he's actually been working in TV longer than I've been alive, but that's another story. But the newer technology, he's not up to speed as far as I am. So I was explaining to him, and he made the comment going, John, seriously, I'm having a hard time just following along. And one of the things that I enjoyed, one of the reasons I do my live streams, one of the reasons I spend hours trying out new things is because I want to take my knowledge and translate it for other people. Because JAmemories is all about helping people succeed. Hey, I want to welcome the guys watching on Twitch. I see Cool Whip 1996. I see you on the stream. Thank you for watching there. If you like what you see, go ahead and hit that follow button. We appreciate it. So JAmemories, we're all about helping clients succeed. And if you want more information about JAmemories, you can always go to my website, JAmemories.com, and select any of the different sites. We saw, I've got I got services that, and you can select and see some of what we do. And this is actually a view of an early version of my studio here that I do. And if I took an actual picture of my studio, I've got so many screens here. I don't even know how many screens. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm looking at 13 screens in this one. And they're all doing something. They're all doing something in my studio. I mean, this is what I do, and I sit here and I enjoy the content. I enjoy the ability to take my knowledge that I've done and help my clients out. So we have photography. I have to admit, photography has not been a priority. I have not been keeping up with photography as much as I should be. I've been focusing more on the video side of things, but I do have videography here. I've been working in broadcast since 2001 in different areas. Started in lighting, then went into video, then started audio, and now I'm doing all the above. So I'm an all-encompass. Streaming services, we help people live stream. I have helped several churches over the years build up their entire live stream setup, going from nothing to full-blown YouTube channels and podcasts and things like that, and then consulting and installation. I was actually talking with a vendor that I deal with on a regular basis, and one of the things that they have figured out that there are a lot of engineers and sellers who will come in and run your system for you, and they will. I'm talking to this camera, but I should be on this camera. I apologize. So. Podcast setup, those, there were, you name it, and they'll sell it to you. When it comes to installing, they don't do that person. No, they get a business integrator, who that's one of their primary jobs, and they do that. And we do the best we can to sell the product that we have, that I have on the screen. So we do our best to sell. It says audio out. Hold on, let me see. Maybe I unplugged my microphone. Hold on. That better, guys? Hopefully that is better. I've been moving too much. I pulled my microphone out. Let me know in the chat if it's back. So I see audio here, so I have to believe that it's back. Okay, and I apologize, guys. I was moving too fast, and I pulled my microphone out of my my pack. So the brands down here, JAmemories, we do our best to support everything that we sell. I do have to get support myself to understand all of the nuances of every piece of equipment out there. But I do a very good job of, if you call me up and say, hey, I need something from Neat, and I like this product from Neat. Awesome. I've never heard of Neat. It came when I was looking for a particular brand. I liked the original brand, and I jumped on board, and when I got the one brand I wanted, I now have a whole bunch of brands that I don't necessarily know. So I have to go look it up. I have to go learn the products. And in all honesty, I have to be able to tell you what it is. Technical Sync. That is a product line specifically being able to synchronize multiple cameras using without using actual time code. It allows you to sync up multiple cameras. Avid, another great brand that's been around for years. Bird Dog, great PTZ company, but they do so much more than just PTZ cameras. Bose, I mean, Bose is a great company when it comes. It comes into your whole line of. I was talking about Bose. I just read a chat. Bose, they make great speakers. Jeff will be one to tell you all about Bose because he loves Bose. Gator cases, another great product line because they make products that are worth it. So, we do our best to, let me turn that off. I hit the wrong button. So, you are sitting here going, okay, how can you as a company support all these brands? Well, one, when I get a product that someone wants, I reach out to my distributor and go, okay, I need as much information as you can on this product. I want to sell, I want to promote, I want to bring to light this product. And then I go out and consult the vendor, the actual buyer about it. And that's what makes JAmemories different, is we're not just going to sell you something and then leave it to your own devices. That goes down the road. We don't want to give you a bunch of products and then you're sitting there and you're going, okay, I got all these products. I love the fact that it's like Christmas in July, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there going, now what? Where do I go? What do I do? One thing that we specialize in, and this is, a lot of integrators will do this, and it's very important, is the fact that we as integrators, this is why you want to go with an integrator if you have a lot of stuff you want to put together. An integrator is going to not only sell you the products that you think you need. Now, hear me out on this. Don't jump to conclusions. They're not going to sell you what you think you need. They're going to sit down and go, okay, you want the Atem Mini. You want the Pocket 6K from Blackmagic. Have you considered your lens? Have you considered your audio? How are you going to bring the camera into the switcher? What interface are you going to use? So we're going to sit there and we're going to work through the ins and outs of putting the entire package together. I can sell you an Atem Mini. I can sell you 4 Pocket Cinema 6K cameras, but if that's all you buy, you're gonna sit here with an Atem Mini Pro. You're gonna have 4 6K cameras with no lenses and be not able to do anything with them unless you happen to have a bunch of EF mount lenses sitting around and you have all the HDMI cables, assuming that they're all within 25 feet of each other. Unless, of course, you have a bunch of random cables sitting around that are longer, or maybe you have converters or whatever. So that's what an integrator does. That's where the consulting comes in. I did announce last year, and I'm happy to say it's still operational. We still have JAmemories support. Support is a legitimate thing in our live streams. So you can literally jump on this page, JAmemories.com/support, and fill out the information, and we will reach out to you and figure out how we best can support you. Now, there's 2 ways you can get support. Obviously, the easiest and most convenient way is if you purchase something from JAmemories. We offer a support package. I keep doing this. I'm gonna move this screen to this camera tomorrow. Actually, I did this on purpose so I can look at this screen. So when you buy a product from JAmemories, you have the option of adding support to your package, which means you're gonna get support not only for the product, but anything that we plug it into. Now, if you don't have anything you need, but you have an existing system, we are willing to support that system. Now, that does also require an inspection of the system. So 1, I can see if the system's operational. I can't offer support on something I haven't actually physically seen, physically working. I heard horror stories about people who say they're going to support something and then all of a sudden they're no longer, they sign the contract, they get the money, and then all of a sudden they get a call a week later saying the system's down. Well, the system was never operational when they signed the contract, but because they never inspected the business and they never inspected the equipment, no legitimate company is going to support something without first verifying that it's operational. It's just good practice. So that's number 1. And number 2, I have to be able to be confident enough that I can actually support what you have. There are so many products in the world of broadcast, in audio, video, lighting, that I don't have the knowledge of every piece of equipment. No matter how much anyone says I know, I can't know everything about every system. So before I say yes, I'm going to support this, I want to know what pieces of equipment is plugged into, how is it all working together, the ins and outs. And a lot of times, people walk in and go, they want this, this, and this, and they name a bunch of products, and I'm like, okay, I've never heard of any of them. And then I spend a few minutes looking them up and go, oh, well, why didn't you just tell me it was this or that? And I have no problems. Other times, I actually had a client reach out and go, hey, I want you to support our system. I want you to do this and that, and so on and so forth. And they forgot a key component that was all tied together through Dante. which I have no problem with Dante. I just don't know Dante. So without knowing that key piece of information, I said, okay, here's a price, here's a custom quote. I just want to come look at your system before we say yes from all sides. And that's when I discovered the Dante part of the whole piece. And after that, I was like, okay, I can't legitimately say I can support this because I don't know enough about Dante to give you the support that you need. I can support the individual pieces, but the system as a whole, which is crucial in Dante. So that's my next adventure, is to learn Dante, which is a whole other line of things. But anyway, back to the support thing. We do have the support. Now, what you get with the support, I'm not going to give any prices right now, but simply just fill out the form on this page, jamemories.com/support. And please make sure you fill out this form about what equipment you have, because that's crucial. That makes things a lot easier down the road. But I will reach back out with an introduction. But what you do get, I can tell you what you get. If we do agree to support, you get a dedicated support page where you can submit tickets. We can chat back and forth. You get access to a dedicated phone text message. So if there's a crucial outage, you can text me and I will get back to you as soon as I can. And then you also get, with that support package, you get 1 hour of in-person support if you live within a certain, I think it's 50 miles of where our business is, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, if you're not in that radius, we can work out some way of getting support. Plus, the last thing that you get, and this is, I think, important, because some people like this, is if you do pay for the support, you also get a 10% discount on all services. That doesn't include product that you buy. That includes any services that you may need above that 1 hour beyond. So I think it's a great support thing. I think it's vital, important to the thing. So obviously that's just what I like to do, and I love being able to support those things in the long run. So, you know, obviously support is a big thing. Now, one thing that I am working on, I haven't done it, and I'm actually going to talk to my web developer either tonight or tomorrow. Wow, we've been online for over an hour, actually an hour and a half. That's awesome. Hopefully you guys are hanging in there. The one thing about I want to be able to do is I want to be able to create a way for clients who want to purchase equipment to have a way of having support. Next week, I've already got the products that we're going to demo. Not demo, but just talk about, because they are some new equipment that came out this past NAB. For those that don't know, NAB is National Association of Broadcasters, their big show in Las Vegas every year. And they have a show, and all of the major broadcasters, they all come up with their latest and greatest equipment right around NAB. There are a couple of big shows across the world. NAB in the United States, you have Infocom, and there's a couple other big shows around the world. Infocom is over in Europe somewhere, I'm not really sure where. I think Amsterdam. But those are the times when major companies like Panasonic, Blackmagic, Canon, Sony, they announce their latest and greatest advancements over the course of the last year. While Blackmagic announced a few major announcements and released a whole line of new equipment. I spent over 2.5 hours watching Gaddy, the owner of Blackmagic, go over all of the things right before NAB this past year, and I have picked a couple of crucial pieces of equipment that I think are great for content creators. Because what is the biggest thing about content creation? If you can answer that, what is the most crucial part of a content creator's workflow? That will be answered next week when we come back live next week on next week's live stream. Hopefully, I work out all the bugs and figure out a way to make sure that there are no more bugs. And then also, not that I really, let me just say that this way. I want my live streams to be as professional as I can. But I know I've worked in the industry long enough to know that there are no perfect live streams. Even on the daily live show that we do on national television, we are broadcast live on national television, we still have hiccups. Everything from slight audio issues to button mishaps to equipment not working the way it's supposed to. So, you know, those are things that any broadcaster works through. Now, as equipment fails, as things break and we see things messing up, we obviously work after the fact to fix those problems. But I've said years and years ago, when I first went into broadcast, back in 2002, 2003, I love live streams. I love live broadcasts. Because once I hit this end button and I turn off all my equipment, I'm done. Now, I may take this content, I may cut it down to some shorts, I may upload short segments, I may make some posts about it, but the essence of what I'm doing, the whole live show, is done. And that's one reason I love doing this. So hopefully you guys got something out of it. I'm gonna wrap it up. It's 9:30 here in the Central Time Zone. It is late. I've gotta go check in with my family, see if they're all still awake, and then get going for tomorrow. We will be live next week. The plan is right now to be live next week. And then from there, we'll see where we go from there and how we end up proceeding after that. So, with that being said, I want to thank you all for joining me today. Hopefully you all liked it. Again, if you like the content, if you're watching on the replay, if you've made it through an hour and a half of replay, first, let me say thank you so much. It's unbelievable that you might even sit through all of this live stuff for an hour and a half. And for those that are watching still after an hour and a half, thank you so much for watching, because it means the world to me. But if you are watching on the replay, leave a comment in the comments. Leave a comment in the comments with hashtag replay, so I know that you're watching on the replay. And also hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications so that you'll be notified when we go live, or by happenstance, upload another video. I will tell you, we are going to start the Amazon shopping store soon. Still working on all the bugs and all the ins and outs of that. So make sure you subscribe to the channel on YouTube, hit that follow button on Twitch, and make sure you hit that like button. Thank you so much for doing that. And we will see you guys next week. I'm losing my voice. I've been talking for an hour and 40 minutes. I am losing my voice. So on that note, I'm going to hit the end button, and if everything works out, it's going to mute my mic. You're going to see an awesome screen, and we will catch you guys next week right here at the same time on JAmemories Tech-Talk. Catch you guys later.